Monday, August 18th in Salem. The week begins with tension simmering in every corner of the city. Unexpected alliances will be forged, quiet betrayals will surface, and desperate pleas for redemption will shape the day. Every choice made on this Monday will ripple across Salem, setting the stage for a week that could decide the future of families, businesses, and fragile relationships. From shocking confrontations to heartfelt apologies, from whispered doubts to explosive feuds, today marks the beginning of one of the most dramatic weeks Salem has seen in years. Let's dive into the chaos awaiting us in Days of Our Lives. Stephanie Johnson has always prided herself on reading people, especially Alex Kuriakis. To her, Alex has always been the same, bold, arrogant, and relentlessly ambitious. A man who plays the game of business like it's a battlefield, where charm is his sword and recklessness his shield. But today, inside the sleek, glass-walled offices of Titan, Alex shifts the script in a way Stephanie never anticipated. He lays a thick file on the table with a heavy thud, documents marked with irregular transactions, unexplained payments, and evidence of corporate betrayal. The air in the room grows heavier as Alex explains what he's found. Shady filings buried deep within Titan's records, the kind of thing that could implode the company's reputation if it came to light. Stephanie feels her stomach twist. She expects Alex to suggest burying it, or worse, twisting it to his own advantage. That's who Alex is, isn't it? The man who bends situations to benefit himself. But instead, he shocks her. He insists on confronting it. Publicly, boldly. Stephanie is floored. She leans forward, eyes sharp, demanding answers. Why would you take a risk this dangerous? Do you realize what this could cost you, what it could cost us? Alex, usually smirking, suddenly drops the mask. His voice softens, his expression raw. For once, there is no arrogance, no facade, just sincerity. Because this isn't just about Titan. It's about doing the right thing. For the company, and for us. The weight of those words stops Stephanie cold. For a fleeting second, she sees a man she didn't know existed, someone willing to sacrifice power for integrity, someone willing to stand for something bigger than himself. But suspicion creeps in. Is this truly Alex opening his heart? Or is it just another layer of manipulation, a calculated move to draw her closer while keeping control firmly in his hands? Stephanie's chest tightens with conflict. Admiration, doubt, and fear collide inside her. If Alex is genuine, he could change everything. But if she's wrong, his gamble could destroy them both. Across Salem, Steve Johnson is drowning under the weight of secrets. The Titan investigation has become a labyrinth of corruption. Every time he thinks he's found the truth, another layer of lies emerges. Each discovery cuts deeper, and the burden of what he knows presses heavier on his shoulders. For Steve, truth has always been a guiding star. But now, that star feels like it's leading him into a storm that could consume everything. He returns home, seeking the one person who has always been his anchor, Kayla Johnson. The scene is quiet, intimate, the kind of moment only decades of love can create. Steve sits heavily at the kitchen table, his hand running over his face, his voice rough with fatigue. Sweetness, he begins, using the nickname that carries years of history. I don't know if I can keep digging. If I pull on this thread, I might unravel more than Titan. I might hurt people who don't deserve it. Kayla, calm and steady, moves closer, resting her hand over his. Her eyes search his, seeing the turmoil that he tries to hide. She listens as Steve admits his fears, not of danger to himself, but of the collateral damage. He worries that exposing the truth could ruin livelihoods, tear families apart, maybe even put innocent lives at risk. Kayla, with her quiet strength, reminds him of who he is. You've never turned away from the truth, Steve. Not once. And it's that integrity that makes you the man you are. But her voice softens, filled with warning, you need to be ready. Because sometimes doing what's right comes with a price neither of us wants to pay. The words land like a stone in Steve's chest. Her support is unwavering, but her caution is clear. He sits there, torn, one path leading to justice, the other to safety. The crossroads stretches before him, and Steve knows whichever way he turns, Salem will never be the same. The atmosphere at the bistro is buzzing with chatter and clinking glasses, but at one corner table, the mood shifts to something far heavier. Gabby Hernandez, known for her fiery ambition and sharp tongue, walks in with an expression few in Salem have ever seen: hesitation. Her eyes scan the room until they land on Xander Kyriakis, seated with his usual air of defiance. Xander is the type of man who wears his grudges like armor, and today, that armor is firmly in place. Taking a deep breath, Gabby approaches, her heels clicking softly against the tiled floor. For once, she doesn't lead with fire, no biting sarcasm, no cutting remarks. Instead, she sits across from him, her voice low and careful. She admits she was wrong. Wrong for underestimating him, wrong for letting her hunger for power cloud her better judgment. Xander leans back, arms crossed tightly over his chest, his gaze piercing through her. His reply is sharp, almost dismissive. You think a simple apology erases what you did? The silence that follows is thick, heavy enough to suffocate. A lesser person might have backed down. But not Gabby. She steadies her voice, insisting this isn't just about erasing mistakes, it's about acknowledging them. What makes this moment remarkable isn't just the apology itself. It's the fact that Gabby, a DiMera by name and temperament, almost never admits fault. Her words carry a rare vulnerability, but beneath it all lies a layer of strategy. She knows Titan's fate could hinge on fragile alliances, and she knows Xander could be either her greatest obstacle or her most powerful partner. The tension between them is electric. Is Gabby reaching out from sincerity, finally showing her human side? Or is this simply another DiMera move on the chessboard, cloaked in humility to get what she wants? Xander's decision in this moment could redraw the battle lines at Titan, and shift the balance of power in ways neither of them can yet see. Across town, the grand halls of the DiMera mansion, once symbols of elegance and family legacy, now vibrate with rage. The air is thick, the silence before the storm shattered as E.J. DiMera unleashes his fury at his brother Tony. E.J.'s temper has been smoldering for days, fueled by courtroom chaos, family betrayal, and the gnawing fear that his grip on power is slipping. Today, that fire explodes. His words cut like knives as he accuses Tony of meddling, of undermining his leadership, of daring to question his authority when what the family needs is unity. But Tony, ever the calm strategist, refuses to bend. His voice may be measured, but his words are daggers of their own. He reminds E.J. that arrogance has blinded him time and time again, that his obsession with control has often led to the family's downfall. The brothers lock eyes, and what begins as a heated exchange quickly erupts into a full-blown war of words. Their voices rise, echoing through the mansion's gilded halls, shaking the very foundation of their bond. The grandeur of the DiMera home, with its portraits of ancestors watching from the walls, feels almost suffocating, as if the ghosts of Stefano and the generations before are silently judging this clash of heirs. For E.J., this is about dominance, proving he is the rightful leader of the DiMeras. For Tony, it's about preserving what's left of the family's dignity before E.J. destroys it completely. Neither man is willing to yield. Neither man is willing to blink. And in that moment, one truth becomes undeniable. This isn't just a sibling rivalry. This is a battle for the soul of the DiMera dynasty. A battle that, if left unchecked, could fracture the family forever. In the quiet shadows of Salem, away from the thunderous battles of boardrooms and courtrooms, a different kind of war unfolds. One fought not with power or money, but with love and fear. Johnny DiMera sits across from Chanel Dupree, the woman who has both anchored him and set his heart ablaze. But tonight, Chanel's eyes are not soft with affection, they are sharp with desperation. She has watched Johnny pour every ounce of strength into defending her, standing in front of her like a shield while his own future crumbles piece by piece. His trial looms, his reputation is stained, and yet Johnny insists on putting her safety before his own. "Johnny," she whispers, her voice breaking, "you're fighting for me when you should be fighting for yourself." Her words tremble, carrying both love and terror. Chanel doesn't doubt Johnny's devotion. That's never been the problem. The problem is his blind loyalty, his willingness to sacrifice himself just to ease her burdens. She knows that if he doesn't step back and fight for his own freedom, the court may take from him everything he has left. Johnny shakes his head, refusing to yield. His love for Chanel runs deep, deeper than reason, deeper than self-preservation. To him, protecting her isn't just a choice. It's instinct. It's duty. But Chanel pushes harder, her voice rising with urgency. Tears shine in her eyes as she forces him to see the cost of his devotion. "If you don't put yourself first now, you could lose everything. And then what happens to us?" The silence between them is deafening. Johnny's heart aches with the weight of her plea. For the first time, he realizes that his greatest act of love might not be protecting Chanel, but protecting himself, so that their love has a future at all. It's a heartbreaking standoff. Johnny is torn between love and survival. Chanel is torn between wanting his protection and fearing the price of it. And Salem watches, knowing that whichever choice Johnny makes, the consequences will ripple far beyond the courtroom. So, on Monday, August 18th in Salem, Alex drops a bombshell that leaves Stephanie reeling. Steve bares his soul to Kayla in a desperate search for guidance. Gabby swallows her pride with an apology Xander may not forgive. EJ and Tony clash in a battle that could fracture the DiMera legacy. And Chanel pleads with Johnny, begging him to fight for his own future before it's too late. The pieces are moving faster than ever. The secrets are tightening around every family. And Salem's fate is being rewritten with every choice, every confrontation, and every sacrifice. Stay tuned, because this Monday is only the spark. The firestorm of the week has just begun, and no one will escape the flames.